The discussion this afternoon really focused on challenges and opportunities that could arise from ESG or sustainability in the agricultural sector. I think the agricultural sector is one of those sectors that, it's such an integral part of what is happening in the sector. It's a sector that's already close to nature, understand the impact of water, understand the impact of changes in soil, food production. So the agricultural value chain is, I almost want to say, the foundation of a lot of the ESG activities that will happen in the economy. This afternoon's discussion really focused on what are insurers looking for example, when they are looking at insuring or underwriting insurance in the agricultural sector. What is the banks looking for, the financiers? What are players in the industry actually doing? So there were a couple of very interesting examples from the likes of Rabobank that brought some of the knowledge that they have, and then some of our local banks, Nedbank, and then Santam from an insurance perspective, and then the International Finance Corporation as well as Agri telling us a little bit about how they are managing this in the supply chain. Well, I think what was interesting is one of the questions that we asked the audience this afternoon was, tell us whether you see opportunities from ESG and sustainability. And most of the audience actually said we do. We see significant opportunities. And then there were a big group that said moderate, and a small portion that said no, we don't. So I think that the lesson that we take from this is that most farmers are looking at this and saying, but there's opportunities and I need to actually understand that. And when we look into the future, there's a couple of things that became very clear. The importance of us as South Africa having our own voice, saying what we need, making our voice heard on the global stage. And then also, as new regulation comes in South Africa, the Climate Change Act was actually promulgated a couple of weeks ago. What does that mean for this particular industry, and also important to make our voices heard? The main thing for me is that yes, there's some trepidation, but there's also a willingness to say we're taking this forward, we understand that it's here, we are already so close to nature, so there's a lot of this that comes naturally. It's just a question of making sure that we tell our story and that we get the right messages out there about what is happening in the agricultural sector. We're big exporters of agricultural, in particular citrus products, to Europe. So that regulation is already having an impact on us. And what is positive for me to see is that the likes of the Presidential Climate Change Commission has said, but listen, as South Africa, we want to have a strategy. We want to understand what our response will be. So we're actively working on it from a national perspective, which I think is very positive. Then the other side is that all of the players in the market that I've been talking to that's looking at regulation is saying, very often, as you say, we like to take European regulation and apply it here. We often, with our financial services industry, for example, that's one of the places that we're looking at. But I've seen a difference in ESG and environmental and climate regulations where we've actually said, wait a minute, we're not just going to copy and paste. We need to make sure that it works for us. And I really do believe that, yes, obviously, with anything, there's always things that's uncomfortable. But I do not believe that this is an instance where our regulators are going to say we're going to copy and paste and just take what is happening in the rest of the world.